Yo, what up, guys? This is Jalen.
And this is William.
And we are the Cloth Talk Podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of the Cloth Talk Podcast, where real people have real conversations. In this special episode, we have our first guest, hailing from Baltimore, Maryland, weighing in at 165 pounds, standing at 5'3". 5'8". David Green. What is up, man? How you doing? How you feeling?
What's up, man? I appreciate you guys for bringing me onto your pod today.
We appreciate
talk a little bit.
We appreciate you coming on, man. We appreciate you coming on. So, this episode we are talking about travel. David is a long-time friend of ours, and we've had our fair share of trips. So, I think we're gonna go through a couple questions on this episode and just talk to you guys about, you know, our different experiences and different tips and tricks and our favorite travel stories. So, yeah, we can start the pod off there.
So, we're going into Japan first.
I don't know how we feeling. That's where we want to start.
Yeah, we can start with
Let's
that. Might as well.
Dive right in.
When was this? This was 2018. 2018.
Seems like so long ago.
Right.
Right after
graduation.
Graduating. Yeah.
I forgot how this came about. This was just like a graduation, like, oh, let's go somewhere kind of thing.
Yeah.
Said, let's celebrate graduation. Where y'all want to go? Nobody made a decision. And I don't know who said it. It was either like, I don't know if it was you or David. Somebody was like, let's go to Japan. And I was just like,
yeah.
For what?
Yeah,
that was like one of the
like,
times
for what?
I had realized, for some reason, I never realized how close Howard and UMD were. And like, me and Will were best friends all the time, and we never linked up. And I'm like,
literally 20 minutes away.
Exactly. So I had just pulled up, and mind you, this is when we're graduating, and I'm like, damn, bro, we need to go somewhere. Like, so that night, I think I texted them, and then I came like a couple days later to UMD, and we were just talking about engineering and stuff like that, and talking about like, wow, like this shit is almost over. Like, we really did it. And then when I got there, we actually started looking at the flights. We was on Google Flights looking, and we found one, and we was like, who else wants to come with us? And then hit up Jalen. Jalen was like, yeah, let's do it.
Oh, let's do it. Jalen be down for anything. He'd be like, yeah, I guess so.
Say word.
Everybody else was like, I don't know. And all that stuff. Jalen was like, let's go.
That's one thing too. It's so hard to plan group trips. I think that one went kind of smooth. Like we just got it done and out the way, researched the flights and the location, and just got it done. I think
we booked the trip like 2 or 3 weeks before we actually went. So it was kind of it was like kind of last minute.
Yeah, that's super last minute for an international flight too. All the way to Tokyo. So I guess we can go through that part. So we booked the Airbnb. We were thinking about doing like a 2-week tour thing, but I think David had like work. Literally.
Yeah, I had no time.
Literally like the
started
week
work
after.
As soon as we had to move. Lindsay had to move and start work like as soon as we got back from this.
This man graduated, then immediately went into the job.
Right. No time off.
No break.
I think they packed up my they were transitioning me to the spot where I was staying, so they packed up my stuff in DC. And then as soon as that happened, that's when we left for Tokyo. And then when I came back, I had to go to North Carolina to start working. Like, we got back on like a Sunday or like a Thursday, and I had to start work on that Monday. And I was like, dang, but we squeezed it in and it worked out. So
damn. Yeah, so we booked the Airbnb. I think it was for what, like 7-8 days.
Yeah, it was like 7 days, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was actually the total trip, like including the flights, was like 10 days. But like with the long ass flight over there, our trip got cut into 6 days basically. So we had that connecting flight. So we flew from DC to Dubai, and then we had a 24-hour layover in Dubai, and then we made it to Tokyo. Bro, we almost we went to the wrong airport.
Yeah.
I was about to say, can we talk about that?
That's
that's
a close call right there.
That was definitely.
That's what I was getting ready to say. The close call. Go ahead.
Because y'all told me, or however we did it, it just DC, right? So I'm just thinking automatically in my mind, I'm thinking Reagan because Dulles is in Virginia. So you say, yeah, we're going to DC airport. So I'm like, okay, we're driving to DC. We start pulling up. I'm like, oh, Will, what's the terminal? So he's like, this is not the right airport.
Yeah, we were pulling up. I was like, I don't think this is Dulles.
And I'm like, Dulles is not in DC, bro. But when you book the flights and stuff like that, it says DC.
Right.
So if you don't know the difference, it's like.
Yeah, I've never been there before. We left mad early though, because I think
luckily,
your mom dropped us off, so she had to go to work. So we got there a little bit earlier. That's a close.
The only thing that saved us.
we would have been SOL.
Yeah, that'd have been crazy. We got to the wrong airport. We were like, yo, this is not it.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, they're like 30 minutes apart, and we ain't hit no traffic.
Yeah,
DC traffic be crazy too. So
it was like a weekday morning too.
It was.
Pretty sure. Yeah. Damn.
So we got to Dulles, and it was a long line, remember, because we had to go through like customs and stuff like that. So there was a bunch of people in front of us. We had to make sure that we had like our passports and like our flight tickets and all of that stuff, and go through customs. But we were together, so it was it went a lot faster than like kind of sitting there by yourself.
Yeah, I think this was around like the NBA Finals time too. I think the Warriors were playing.
I think it was. Yeah, you're right. Probably
we watched it on the plane.
Yeah, we were watching it on the plane. Flew on that Emirates flight all the way to Dubai. That was 16 hours. Oh my god, bro.
Yeah, never again.
Bro, my body did not know what day it was. Like, we were getting fed every 3 hours, but like it was dark outside, but I felt like it was morning. I was like falling asleep every 2 hours. It was bad.
Right.
All I remember is Jalen sitting beside me playing that numbers game. Like it was 10-24. We got to slide the blocks
2048. Yeah.
2048. Yeah.
2048. Past the time.
And you was winning low key.
I probably did. Win. That was, I don't know. That wasn't that bad of a flight though. For my first like international flight, long flight like that, almost a whole day. It wasn't that bad in my opinion.
Yeah, we were very comfortable. Like Emirates did a good job. Like the meals were good. I feel like. Yeah. What y'all think of the meals?
Yeah,
they were decent.
Let's talk about that. Because not only did we get meals, we got the meals, but we also had like there was an entire monitor that had a remote so you could play video games, and it had all the It had like a full suite of movies that just came out, like all the new stuff. Had TV shows, and it had music that you could listen to. Plus the flight, they had like breakfast, food, then lunch, then dinner, and it was different meals that were hot.
Yeah,
and so it was pretty cool.
Yeah,
it was pretty cool.
I felt like a king, like being on that plane. I'm like, this is service right here.
Right.
Yeah. So they even had. I feel like they had cameras too. You can see like the cameras on the front and back of the plane.
Oh yeah,
like where we're actually flying. I think I binge watched the entire like Marvel Avengers movies, like all the Thors, like Iron Man 1, 2, and 3 throughout that whole trip. So then we got to Dubai. We landed in Dubai. We hopped out the plane out in the desert. It was like 140 degrees outside.
Yeah, Dubai was lit.
Hey, what'd y'all think of Dubai?
I thought it was cool. We were kind of outside of the city a little bit in the hotel we were at because it was right by the airport. So we just had to take like the Ubers or whatever, and that was pretty cool. It wasn't no problem to do that. And we went straight to like the mall because we didn't know where else to go. and the mall is like connected to the Burj Khalifa and all that stuff. So we went right there.
Yeah.
I was surprised. The first thing we walked into the mall, seen Cheesecake Factory. I'm like, bruh. Across the world, the first thing we see. But the mall was huge. They had an aquarium.
They had a whole aquarium in the mall. They had every store you could think of. Louis, Hermes, Gucci.
Of course. I felt like I didn't belong in Dubai.
Yeah, you need bread. You need big bread.
That's what I was going to say. It felt like a rich country. I was like, nah, it's cool. This is cool for my first time, but I can't come back until I touch like
right
10 M's or something. Yo, remember we went on a little tour or whatever. We rode past like
we had a little shuttle tour.
It was like a hotel. He was like, "Yeah, this is like a 6-star hotel with like and the penthouse suite cost like $50,000 a night." And that was at that point I was like, "Nah." That's what I was like. I don't belong here.
Yeah, we see all the exotic cars everywhere and stuff. Got the fountains. Everybody was outside having a good time. It was cool. It was cool. We had some good meals in the mall too. We got some authentic food out there, I feel like.
The baklava.
Y'all did eat that, right?
Bro, I had like 3 desserts while I was sitting there. Felt like I was Anthony Bourdain or something.
Right.
But they were very accommodating though to like American citizens.
Yeah.
We were talking about it a little bit before, like we went during Ramadan and they didn't really make us like adhere to all those restrictions. I thought they would just because like, they're super strict. But, we had shorts on. We could like show our knees. We could eat we didn't have to adhere to like the fasting period. And a lot of people were doing that. Like when you went to the mall, you saw people at Cheesecake Factory and all that stuff. So they were very accommodating. You can tell that it's like a tourist area because, that's where a lot of their capital comes from. So
yeah,
that was cool.
Yeah. A lot of people, I feel like everybody there spoke English too. Like I was kind of, I don't know. I feel like there's like other dialects in that area in that country where they can like speak, but I don't know. I feel like it was very, very tourist friendly too. We got lucky with the hotel accommodations. We landed, like the plan was originally like, we have like an 18-hour layover. We get there in the morning, we're just gonna explore Dubai during the day and then go back to the airport. And then we landed, they were like, so due to your extensive layover, we've booked you with free hotels and da-da-da. We were like, what?
Yeah, that was a come on.
Now we're talking. This is luxury. This is what I'm talking about. That was cool too.
I don't even think we slept though. We didn't even utilize our hotel rooms.
No.
We stayed out the whole time. Next thing you know, we like, damn, it's 2 hours before the flight. We gotta go to the airport.
Bruh, I feel like our bodies were so out of whack. And then so we went back to the airport and then we had a 14-hour flight over to Tokyo. I feel like after the 16-hour we were kind of like vets at that point, so it wasn't that bad, but I feel like I slept for the most part on that plane too, because I think it was mostly nighttime outside.
Yeah, but we were able to finesse the seats together both times because we never chose our seats together. But we just were praying
separate.
Yeah,
exactly. And we were just asking people like, and it wasn't like a single transaction. It was like, oh, can we sit here? And then from that seat, we got to the next seat, and then finally we were all able to kind of get all together. And that's really what saved it, honestly. Because if you were sitting beside like strangers for 16 hours, it's a lot different because we could kind of move our elbows and like lean on each other and stuff like that. But if it's a stranger right there, you're like,
yeah,
bitch, for 16 hours.
Can't move.
People are on there with like whole families, like 8 people deep, kids yelling and screaming. Like, nah.
Yep.
So we landed in Tokyo. Huge language barrier. Obviously, I had to break out the little cheat sheet book, start practicing my Japanese again that I didn't practice since middle school. I feel like we navigated our way to the train station.
I don't know how we did it.
I don't know either.
I feel like we were just guessing. We were looking at the little map. We were like, "Oh, we need to go here." All right, bet.
They had little signs here and there. We were trying to match up the kanji symbols with like the Google Maps.
I feel like if y'all weren't there, I would have been stranded. Because I was like,
It was
ain't no way I'm figuring this out.
Will 100% got us through that first part because I remember there was one like flight attendant that helped. It was like the further that you got away from the airport, the less English there was. So at the airport, it was kind of cool. It was all right because I remember we exchanged our bread too, and we got the national currency, and then we were able to get to the train and got on the bullet train. That was pretty cool because it's like one of the fastest trains in the world. And then once we got off the train, it was a wrap. Like,
Bro, I was shocked by that, bro. No English whatsoever when we touched down in Tokyo. Like, none at all. I was so caught off by that. Like, they didn't even understand, like, water. Like, can I get water, please?
They're like, what? What are you talking about? Yo, I think, like, I had to, like, when we went out to eat and stuff, like, I'm just sitting there. I had the menu. I'm sitting there pointing, like, I want this. Because I couldn't order food without pointing to the picture. You like water? They like, I don't know. But then you point to the picture. They like, oh,
right. Luckily,
I'll never forget that time.
Go ahead.
Okay.
No, you could go ahead.
I was gonna say I'll never forget that time we went to that one restaurant and this was Will was leading us through the whole thing and he knew a little bit, so he asked her, you know, do you speak English? And she looked at him like, no. Like, why would you even ask me that? She just kept going on about the thing. Like, that was it.
That was bad. I feel like we went to one restaurant that didn't have pictures on the menu, and we got those like moving noodles.
That was bad,
bruh. That was the only time I felt like legitimately like creeped out by my plate before I ate it.
You willingly wanted to eat that. You were like, I'm about to order this. Bro. And then you got it and you were like, oh, I don't know why I ordered that. I don't think I want this. I'm like, I think I got like dumplings or something. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna eat these. They were good. They were good too.
It was like
watch y'all struggle.
Throwing darts in the dark, you know what I'm saying? I was throwing a Hail Mary, but I feel like that was cool. We got to the Airbnb. It was a humble little spot. Japan is small, so everything there is smaller. The apartments are smaller. The doorways are smaller.
Tall, I had to duck my head. To get into the to the Airbnb.
I feel like as soon as we got there, we were like, "Damn, everything here is so small." And then Jalen, boom, hits his head on the door.
I probably did. I probably hit my head countless times on that trip.
Yeah. But it's very efficient though. Like they use their space very wisely. So like even though it was a small space, we needed like room to like kind of stretch our legs or something like that. We had enough space, whether it was on the bed or like on the couch or something, to like not really have our own space, but like at least stretch your legs. And I think that also talks to like how the rest of the country was too, because like the 7-Elevens and things like that, like the roof was mad low and people lived above it and they had a lot of stuff, but then when you walked into the store, it was like, it seemed like there was a lot of space and they had a lot of stuff in there for you to buy and things.
Yeah. It was a fun trip. What was like, what would you guys say was like the best part of that trip? Like what was your big takeaway? Like the food, the people, what would you say?
For me, I thought Japan was like very, very clean. Because I feel like there was no trash on the street and all that, and I was just like, wow, this is so much. This is way different than back home.
Yeah,
that was probably my thing. I was like, they're very, like David said, very efficient, very clean people, and it was very nice over there. Nice sights to see. We did a lot of sightseeing.
Bro, so much.
Yeah, we messed up because we go out sightseeing during the day. Then we would go back. Our goal was to like go out and experience Japanese nightlife.
Right.
We would go out as soon as we get back to the Airbnb. We would pass out, wake up. They shut everything down. Like kind of early over there. They shut like transit down. We were like, there's no way we're catching a cab because we can't speak Japanese. They're gonna look at us like we're crazy. So we figured out how to work or how to ride the train. The train shuts down at like midnight. Right. Yeah. So we would wake up from our nap at like 11:30. It'd be like, oh damn. So now what do we do?
That was so weird, bro. Like the fact that the transit closed at 12 it's like you basically have two choices when you go out. You either like go out and get back home before midnight, or you're out until 5 a.m.
all night.
Like,
and I was getting ready to say the one time that we did go out, we made it out one night out of like our 6 or 7 days there. We went out one night, and I was going to say that probably was my other like big takeaway because we party hard that night,
bro.
Japanese
the
people
whole
know
day.
They know how to party.
The whole day, bro. Like from
That was literally one of the best DJs I've ever experienced in a club. Like that was back in 2018. So this is back when like 6ix9ine first popped out and like all these songs like Hotline Bling and all this stuff, and like the DJ's going back to back to back to back hits. And
yeah, we were in there going crazy. We probably were like the only like they were. It was funny because they were singing the songs like.
Bro.
They sang the songs. We tried to talk to them. They look at you like you're crazy. Like, how you singing? How you singing the lyrics to the song? But when I try to ask you a question,
right, no
you don't
English.
know what's going on.
They only knew the melodies.
Yeah.
The only downside of that was the cigarettes. Like they allowed smoking.
Yeah.
There's no non-smoking area. So like we're in the club, and mind you, we were there from midnight till 5 a.m. and our clothes were drenched in like cigarette smoke, and people just puffing away in there, puff, puff, puff. I'm like, that's
they were hotboxing the club with cigarettes, and I got asthma too, so I'm in there like,
in there dying.
I'm in there, can't breathe in, but I'm having a time of my life. That was good. I feel like we got tired at like 3:00. We started just like sitting on the side, just like waiting for the transit to open again.
Yeah, we were like, we got 2 more hours. Get up.
I don't even know.
That was cool.
I don't even know if we got any drinks when we were out, but
I don't remember. I really don't remember. We probably tried to.
We found like one of the few hip hop clubs on Google, and it actually turned out to be pretty good. I don't remember the name, so we can't shut them out. But
yeah,
it was lit.
I will say I felt like disgusting going back at 5 a.m. like all smoked up, like just sweat.
No, we on the train with people going to work.
They're going to work. People are wearing suits. They're ready for their day, drinking coffee, and we're clearly in like going out clothes, like looking bummy. we got back to
collar, hella drunk, hanging off you.
We got back to the Airbnb and crashed for like 6 hours and woke up at like 3 p.m. Like
lost the whole day. We lost the next day.
At least we made it out, though. We made it out that one night. We were like trying to go out every night just to experience different things, but it never worked out.
I will say that was like one thing I took away too. We definitely did a good job of like planning out the days and just like going to explore and like seeing different stuff. Like we would literally, there's a bunch of different boroughs in Tokyo. It's like a massive city. So we would go to like each borough each day and just like explore the different things over there. We went to like the Supreme stores and like all that. Went to skyscraper towers and different parks. So I feel like there's definitely a lot of stuff to do there. I feel like we had a lot of good food. I feel like we could have planned that out a little bit better though, because I feel like we were like looking for food stranded sometimes. And the people were like super nice too, super safe. I feel like it's a good like retirement spot if you know Japanese. But
yeah, I think that my favorite parts were the architecture and how they blend their culture and their history into like the modern day. So like, you know, they have high-rise, sky-rise buildings and a lot of high-tech things, but at the same time in this, you can find these pockets of like serene parks, and you know that's have all these different types of trees and all these different types of like tapestry and things like that. And they're super calm and super peaceful. And as soon as you go back out, it's like the bustling city. So I liked how they kind of fused both of those together. Mm-hmm. And then I also liked the shopping districts that we went to. They were like super busting. I think we went to like the biggest intersection in the world.
Yeah.
We took some videos there.
Yeah.
We saw that. And we got to like Will was saying, we got to shop a little bit. But just to see how they fuse like the serene, the calm, the peaceful, you can kind of go like almost like a Central Park type vibe, but they have a bunch of those like throughout the city. So I think how they mix those together is pretty cool and still keep their heritage while they progress forward.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good trip overall. I feel like we were kind of drained on our way back, but I feel like we were glad that we went.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think that's one big takeaway. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's easy to wait for your parents or like a bunch of people to gather together to go on a trip, but we just decided to say, like, screw it, we're gonna go, we're gonna book this trip, and we're gonna do our thing. I feel like a lot of people need to, take the time now to plan out those vacations, plan out those dream trips. It's really not that expensive that you need to wait until you're 30 to start traveling and stuff. Like, you can
Right.
do it on a budget. You can find different ways to make it happen. So if there's some place that you really want to go, just like go for it now. Why wait, But
YOLO.
Yeah. So, where else would you guys want to go? Like, what are some other things that's on your list of travel spots?
Everywhere. World travel. Where we say no, we want to go. Well, I think
know where we
Greece is
wanna
like
go.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Greece is like the top of the list. Santorini or my I don't even know how to say it.
Mykonos, yeah.
Yeah,
Mykonos Islands.
I don't want to sound ignorant on here.
we got an international audience. We gotta pronounce it correctly.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm never gonna listen again. That's probably I think that's probably my top spot that I want to go to.
Yeah, I'd say for me, I think Greece is up there. I really want to go to Spain. And I think another place I want to go to Colombia. I feel like Colombia has a good vibe that I want to experience. I heard it's like super cheap too. But how about you? Where do you want to go?
I want to go to Egypt, man. I've been trying to go to Egypt for forever.
That's a good one.
I want to go to Egypt, Giza, and Kemet is actually the real, the name of the Egyptian landed mass. But I want to go there and just see their culture because I'm really into like the math and sciences, and that was one of the cultures that kind of drove humanity forward in that aspect. So I think it would be cool to kind of like reconnect with that and see it for myself.
Right. Yeah, I feel like that's huge. I feel like I don't know. I feel like with some countries, like countries that are like outside of Europe and like some of these more like easy like tourist destinations, I feel like you gotta like know somebody to go travel there. Like you need somebody to like show you the ropes and like show you around. Because I want to go to Morocco too, which is close by to Egypt, but I don't know. I feel like I can't just like do that solo dolo.
Jump out there, bro.
But yeah. Are there so what do you feel like there's any places that you visited that you wouldn't go back to? Like some place that you're like, I'm good, like I don't need to see that again.
I kind of feel like that about Madrid. Like you said you wanted to go to Spain, and I was like, I'm good off this, man.
Bruh, what happened?
I think my expectation was different, and maybe it's my ignorance because I was thinking that it was going to be more of and it's also because I went for work, right? So that's part of it. And I was in like a business district. I really didn't get a chance to see, like the cultural sites and things like that. But I just thought the people overall would be a little bit more, like enthusiastic. It was really just like if you went to any city in America and it wasn't like super touristy, it was just like people were living their day-to-day lives. And, there was no smoking areas. It was all like cigarettes everywhere. The people weren't super friendly with you. It was kind of like, like you're here and we still need to get done what we need to get done.
Yeah.
So, and also the days I went, it was super dreary, overcast. And apparently that's like how the weather is there. And it was just like rainy, cold all the time, every day. And I just wasn't feeling it like that. So
my man was super disappointed. He thought he was going on a Caribbean vacation.
I don't know why, when you hear Madrid, it rings a certain bell in your head. And that mental picture that I had was not the experience at all that was actually there. I had one good experience though. There was a tapas restaurant, like, so it was like an open air, but it wasn't just like one stall. Like imagine a food court, but they all were serving tapas, and everybody was like super young, like my age. And you could have drinks. They were served like like different types of alcoholic drinks that you could get at stalls, but you could walk around inside of the area and get like, like piece like popcorn shrimp or like fresh fish or like macaroons and stuff like that. And everyone was just cool. I met a couple. I was getting a drink and they were like, "Oh, what are you here for?" And then I said I was there for engineering. And they were like, "Wow, you're an engineer. You look so young." And I was like, "Yeah." And we just started we had a good conversation. They were on vacation. I think they were on their honeymoon. And it was really cool. Like I met a lot of cool people in that, especially in that one area. But then when I left, it was back to the same thing. So that was like a one and done thing. I'm good off of that.
Yeah. my man's was not impressed. Man went to go meet their original colonizers. How about for you, Jalen? Any place that you want to go back to?
That I wouldn't go back to. I would personally say everywhere I've been, I enjoyed. So I think for me, I don't know. I feel like I've been in a lot of places too, but everywhere I've been, I had a good time. So like,
yeah, that's good.
I can tell you. Look, are we going to talk about the best place we've been to? I'll do the opposite.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
I think for me, like Japan was cool, Tokyo was cool. I had a good time. I think for y'all, I don't know if that was y'all's top trip, but you guys are into like anime and all that stuff. I know that's like the home of that. I'm not really into anime.
I was like a kid in a candy store in Tokyo.
Right. I don't know. I think for me, I really enjoyed Toronto. David and I went to Toronto together too, with our other friend Malachi. So, like you said in the beginning, we've been to a lot of places together. But Toronto, I don't know. I feel like it might just be Canada as a whole, but in Toronto, everybody was just nice. It was very like diverse. You had people from all over, and it was like the opposite of what David just said. The opposite of Madrid. Like everybody was very warm and welcoming, no matter where you went. Right. It wasn't just like Americans. That's what you just made Spain seem like. He was like, oh, this American guy. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like we just had a great time. Yeah. We partied. We went out. Okay. We ate good.
Canada's a sneaky good trip. Like when I was living over in Seattle, my friends and I took a trip to Vancouver. And Canadians are super nice, bro. I do not know why. For the life of me, I don't know why. You would think they like hate Americans because we're snobby and all that, but
they have a great life in Canada. Free healthcare, amazing food. You know what I'm saying? They got space.
Got lots of diversity too. I feel like the only thing about Canada is that it's cold. So like you gotta go in the summertime, otherwise you're gonna be like freezing your ass off. Like
I'm mad we went because like the next we went the week before Caravana.
Oh my god,
Caravana is like probably one of the littest like times ever. So actually I want to go back. So hopefully whenever Corona is over, like they open back up and they start having that again. Definitely we going.
Yeah, we had a great time there. Like I like their accent. Like you're from the States, and everyone was super cool there. And then the club played Drake. Like that's the only person they play. Like songs that you would never hear from Drake in the club.
That's very true.
They was playing stuff from mixtapes, stuff from
it's the hometown hero.
Yeah. And remember that one time Malachi, he paid like a lot of money for shots, like $100 for shots. I'm like, bro, there was no reason, and he was like, it's already done, bro. We had a good time with the drink. He bought all of us shots. That was cool. Shout out to him. And then we went to the club. We got a section. The section was a little bit cheaper than in America, and we also I lost my golds that one day. I just got them. Like I bought them
2 days before
the same week.
That we
and I'm in the club, we're having a good time, and I'm starting.
We were lit. That's why. That night we was like, too lit.
What's that? And I try to stop everybody in the club. Like I'm like, it's gone, it's gone. And I'm looking around. It was no way I'm gonna find it. I called them the next day, like I lost this, and they were not having it. And then I called the guy I got it from. He was like, That's unfortunate, man. So I mean,
like
you
that.
can get another one, but
Sucks for you.
yeah. But I think it was a good trip overall. We had a really good time there. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah. What would that be your favorite place too, or?
Between Tokyo and Toronto. Nah, I think Tokyo is still my favorite, but I would definitely live in Toronto. Like if I had to move away and if I had to like pick another place to live, I think I would definitely live in Toronto because it's just similar enough where you can maybe kind of assimilate a little bit easier, but it's like all the bad things about the U.S. is like not there,
right?
So I think I would enjoy it.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Yeah, I think for me, so I'll go back to like a place I wouldn't go again. I would say I went on a little European tour after our Japan trip. Went to Amsterdam, Paris, and then 3 cities in Ireland. I think I would be content with not going back to Amsterdam. Like,
wow,
that's surprising.
It's kind of weird. I feel like, you know, maybe because we didn't have time we spent a couple of days in each city, so we were kind of rushing through a lot of things. And so maybe if we had a little bit more time to, you know, enjoy the nightlife and the social life and all that stuff, I probably would have liked it more. But I don't know, man. It felt like another American city. Like the same thing with you in Madrid. Like, you know, besides all the wild stuff you can find, like the red light district and all that other stuff, like it was all American food and like burgers and bars and things like that. So besides from like the architecture and like the history of the place and all the canals and the good food, it was like, I felt like I was in another like American city. Everybody there spoke English. I was just like, I don't know. I wasn't impressed, but
what's the appeal of Amsterdam? Was like you can't you like drink freely or something like that?
Marijuana.
Like,
yeah.
No, I thought you could do like literally every drug under the sun in Amsterdam is like the place to be if you want to turn up.
Yeah, I feel like I might need a do-over on that. Maybe we did Amsterdam wrong. I know weed is legal there. Tried some of the brownies. That was a cool experience. It was riding around parks on a bike high. I wouldn't recommend that. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like we didn't really explore like the party atmosphere too much, so I can't really speak too much on that. But yeah, but I'd say my best trip. Damn, that's kind of hard. Ooh.
Don't hurt yourself.
I don't know. I feel like
as a world traveler, been all over the place. You gotta think hard.
Nah. I feel like I need to explore the Caribbean more, but I feel like Jamaica is like one of my favorite trips. It's probably for a couple reasons too. Like we normally go there for like family reunions because my dad's side of the family is Jamaican. So that plays a big part of it, but I feel like I haven't been anywhere that has that vibe. Like everything Irie, man. Like every time you go to Jamaica, everybody there is cool. Like the vibe is right. The weather is amazing. Everybody there is so accommodating to tourists. Like their number one motive is to just like spread peace, love, and happiness and like make sure you have a good time. That's it. And so the drinks are flowing through, like there's a bunch of music everywhere, dance competitions, like there's a bunch of beautiful places to see. The food is amazing. So I think Jamaica would be up there for me. I think Tokyo would be a close, like a 1A as well. Cause that was a fantasy trip for me. Cause I studied Japanese in middle school and never got to go on the exchange trip afterwards. And so that kind of haunted me for a couple years. So being able to go on that trip was really cool. I want to go back again too, because I feel like there's like other cities to explore besides Tokyo as well. I feel like we only explored half of Tokyo too. Yeah, like that city was big.
Yeah, that's like I think a tip that I would offer from those travels is you definitely need to extend your time because we thought that 6 days, we were like, we're going to get bored in 6 days. Like, but it's so much stuff, especially when you go somewhere when it's like the culture itself is different, where you have to figure out, you know, you have to see the historic sites. You want to see the new things. You want to try restaurants. You want to try like, we didn't even get to go like to the things that the normal people that live there would do, like their amusement parks and like their like aquariums and things like that. We're doing like basic stuff that people every day, like going to the mall. Like we're like, wow, we're at the mall, but we didn't even really do their tourist things, you know? So you definitely need at least 2 weeks if you have that time to take, or, try to figure out what your top things are. I think that's what we did, try to figure out what our top wants would be. Cause I'm definitely not disappointed in the stuff that we did, but like Will said, there's a bunch of more stuff that we could have done. We only, every time I go on Twitter or something, I see stuff, I'm like, bro, we were right there.
We were there and missed it.
I'm like, we were like, where is that? Like, I see that stuff on Twitter all the time too. Like, bro, like, I feel like
when we were there.
Yeah, we needed like a whole month to fully explore that city to the proper extent.
Yeah, or just gotta plan multiple trips. Remember, we were talking about going for the Olympics.
Yeah,
and that got canceled. So.
Yeah, Jalen wasn't having that. He was like, "Nah, I'm not going." He's trying to go to Bora Bora.
Oh yeah, how was that?
I ain't go, but. Yeah, I wanted to go, but
French Polynesia.
That didn't work out. They're going to my cousin has like a scuba center shops / outdoor recreation. Like they teach how to scuba dive and stuff. They're going to Fiji, so I'm gonna try to go to that. I'm not scuba diving. You can go as a non-diver. I'm gonna just go as a non-diver and enjoy Fiji. And, that's also in the Southern Pacific, French Polynesia. That's gonna be lit. I think that was supposed to be this year, but I think it's not until like 2022 now, just because of Corona and all that stuff.
Dang,
yeah,
definitely.
Corona's messed up a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
I feel like I had my first trip to Vegas planned out this year, like back in May for my birthday. And then another trip. We were trying to plan a trip to Colombia, and that wasn't working out either. So coronavirus just like washed out everything. But David, do you think you would live anywhere outside the U.S., like maybe when you're older, retire or anything?
Yeah, I think Toronto. I would definitely live in Toronto.
We got a bunch of Canadian boys up in the
I would live in Toronto.
I agree.
I
second that motion.
Yeah, let's do it.
I haven't been. I need to go see Toronto for myself. I feel
Carabana.
like yeah, got to maybe 2021.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you when I'm not even like an outgoing person. I'd be in the crib on my own, but now, like since I've been in the house for a whole year, when things open back up, I'm outside. So any trip, I'd be like, nah, I don't want to go this time. Any trip that y'all want to go to, I'm there. Like, yes. Like, I'm not asking the question. How much is it? Here's the bread. Let's go.
Right. Yeah. I feel like there's definitely going to be a huge wave of travel after all this is said and done.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. But I had to book early.
Yeah, I feel like this price is going to be skyrocketing everywhere. I do agree with y'all though. I feel like I would live outside of the U.S. You know, there's a lot of things like we like about here. There's a lot of diversity and stuff, but like there's so many problems and issues that we deal with that are only like American problems. Like it's kind of like hard to know you're in the Matrix until you get out of the Matrix and like go to different countries and realize like, oh, like I don't have to deal with half the crap that I deal with in the US, and like healthcare is affordable in other countries and like people are nicer, and it's just like, I don't know. So I feel like Canada would be a cool spot, especially since there's no language barrier there. I heard Portugal is a good retirement spot too for people that like retire early. I think it's like the third safest country in the world or something. They got like good healthcare and like a good economy and stuff. So if y'all want to take a trip to Portugal, could probably check that out. But
I gotta learn Spanish, Portuguese.
Portuguese, yeah. Oi, tudo bem?
That's not my forte. I'm not good at that. I've been taking Spanish since elementary school. I don't know anything.
Yeah, like Will studied Japanese in middle school. I studied Spanish, and I took like two more years in high school, and I barely remember that language. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't remember any Japanese whatsoever. I was like struggling when we went on that trip, but
what about have you picked up any tips on your travels throughout these in terms of like even booking hotels, booking flights, or like places to stay away from, or what should you do, when you first touch down, all those things? Those are some of your top 5 tips and tricks for traveling international or in the States.
I would say incognito mode. Google Flights is your best friend. I know it's like better to book on certain days, like Tuesday nights or Wednesday nights or whatever. But making sure your cookies are not on, because they will increase the price by like $100 like 2 seconds after you click on something and leave that page open. So
fly Spirit.
Don't fly Spirit. Bro, I've had the worst.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with Spirit Airlines.
I second that, bro. It's the cheapest way to fly.
No, that's what I do. That's my tip. My tip and trick is I fly, I buy a Spirit ticket, and I fly with no luggage. So everybody talk about all them fees, like you got to pay for bags and carry-ons. I fly, I bring my personal item, which is free, my book bag, and that's it. You can shop whenever you get to where you're going.
Big bread. I'm trying to be like you when I grow up. Nah, I
Spirit and I don't fly United anymore. Both of those are just the worst. I've had the worst experiences. There's been times when I was stuck in the air.
Internet, like inside the United States, trying to get from like North Carolina to Charlotte. I was stuck in the airport for like 24 hours on United. I'm like, never again. I'll never let that happen. So no United, no Spirit for me.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap up another episode of Cloud Talk Pod, the groundbreaking episode. We had our first guest, our best friend, David. Shout out to David for joining. Shout out to David. Giving us some wisdom, some tips and tricks, telling us some stories. And yeah, we're going to wrap up episode 6, Cloud Talk Pod. We out.
Thank you for tuning in. Follow us on all listening platforms and all social media at Cloth Talk Pod. You can follow me at Memo the Maestro on all social media, and you can follow Jalen at JCB627 on all social media.